Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Lockdown Friday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go to our friends over in South Australia. And of course, speak with the Oakdale Netball Club who are in the Premier League competition in South Australia. Unfortunately, though, for them, they just missed out on making finals this year in 2021. Not by much either, of course, in the latter positions. Of course, we've got three very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about it. Thanks all three for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Well, I'll get all three to introduce yourselves and tell us what position all three played on the court.
I am Jordan and I play goalkeeper, a little bit of goal defense if my coach is feeling like torturing me.
I'm Sophie. I play goal attack. And I did have a go at wing attack for, I think, one game. But, yeah, I think I'm happy to stay with goal attack.
And I'm Michaela, and I'm currently playing at wing defence, but it's my first season there. So I'd normally be in the goal circle, so in goal defence as well.
A bit of a stop-start season competition. I guess how did you try to work around, so you had a lockdown in there in between as well?
We were very lucky to be able to finish our season, and I think that we're very fortunate to have staff at the club like our coaches and our strength and conditioning guy Rob keep us with lots of programs and maintenance stuff that we could be doing throughout that lockdown. So we were able to continue, I wouldn't say a normal training routine, but definitely a daily training environment that allowed us to come back that next week ready to go for those back-to-back games.
Yeah, it was really good as well because we have a lot of group chats, Snapchats, Facebook groups, so we all got to stay in touch as well and keep each other accountable to keep doing these sessions because we figured the season would continue, we just didn't know when, so you kind of just had to make sure we were all ready for when it would continue.
Yeah, and we also organised a Zoom call midway through the lockdown where everybody jumped on. So it was really good to catch up with all the girls that way, I guess, because we couldn't do that in person. So that was really cool, having that ability to socialise over a Zoom call as well.
Following the competition this season, and by the end of the season, I tell you what, your team, not just yourselves, but your reserves team as well, were very, very unlucky to just miss out on the finals this year. Tell us, I guess, I know this is going to sound a really silly question to ask, but do you feel a little bit cheated that you didn't make the finals?
I'm sure the other girls will agree with me, but I feel a little bit stitched up, a bit ripped off, but you know what, we did our best to try and come back from these challenges, and I think I'm really proud of the way that we finished the season. We're only as good as the last game we played, and we were able to make that a good one, so thankful for that. Disappointed for the Rezzies for sure, but I think that both teams are in a good position for next year.
Yeah, I think especially for the reserves, they had a game that they completely missed because there was a blackout. So in the first quarter, there was a complete blackout, so they were unable to finish that game. And it was potentially, so it was going to be a game that we were most likely going to get 2 points from to change the position that would be on the ladder. So that I guess that was just unfortunate that game was completely cancelled in the end. And we didn't get the 2 points. We only ended up getting the 1 point with everybody else. So I guess that possibly would have meant that reserves would have finished in the top 4 and then had a shot in the final series. But just the way it panned out, unfortunately.
But tell us a couple of players in your team that had an awesome season for your team there at Oakdale, and you can't include yourselves or each other.
Okay. I'm going to say, we had 2 new girls in our team, in our league team. We had Aisha and Liv, and they both came over from Jets. And I think, they've really slotted in well. Aisha, I think, shot 40 to 50 goals a game. So, you can't really get much better than that. And Liv, she had a little bit of an injury maybe halfway through the season, but came back strong and got to play the last 2 games with us, and was a really strong force in our team. So those two girls I think were really great to have, especially coming from other clubs in their first year here with us.
I agree. I also think that Crammy had a ripper season. She as well had a injury, so she snapped her Achilles, which is a bit of a hard one. But she was playing. I remember just before she did it, I was saying that she was having the best game I think I've ever seen her play. And I think that she was really, really solid. I don't know, she just kind of flies under the radar and is always nailing everything that she does. So I think that she had a great half a season.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with all those people that haven't left me with many people to choose from. But yeah, I think Beck, it was her final season with us and now she's retiring. So I think she had a ripper final season. But yeah, she's always a consistent, strong player out on court, puts 110% out, puts her body on the line every single week. I don't think there's a game where she's not falling over on the ground or not in a strong contest with her wing defence. So yeah, she's always a great player to have out there.
I did mention that before that you couldn't include yourselves. Now, in this question, you can include yourselves, and I have to ask, how special is to play with each other on the same team?
I mean, I think it's just great. I mean, we train so much, especially in pre-season. So we see each other 3 to 4 times a week, and to just go out on court together and win or, lose as a team, we're not out there alone. So it's kind of like every celebration or every hardship we go through it together. So yeah, I think you can't really be too down on yourself because it's a team game. So I think, playing with the girls, it's just good vibes. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I think that we all play a team sport for a reason, because we like that connection with others and we like playing and winning for one another and with one another. And it's extra special when you get to do it with a bunch of girls that you love, because you do spend so much time with them. So you're kind of feeding that energy and that want to play for people, and you get to do it with your best mates. So I can't think of anything better.
Yeah, no, for sure. I would agree with both of you girls. But yeah, especially for me, because I'm one of the younger girls this is my first full season that I've played in Premier League. So I've obviously looked up to both Jordan and Soph over the past couple of years when I've been playing in reserves. So now to actually get that opportunity to play alongside them has been super special for me this season.
What about your coaches there at Oakdale?
We've got Ness. She's our head coach, and she played Premier League for Oakdale. I don't know for how long, and I think she had a stint coaching the Rezzies as well when they had a grand final win. Correct me if I'm wrong, girls. And she is just like a wealth of knowledge, especially for our middies. She was a very dynamic player, so our middies get a lot from that. But in saying that, her expertise are over the whole court. So I've loved being coached by Ness. It's always great.
Yeah. We have Ness and Tara. So Tara kind of floated between head coach of the Rezzies and assistant coach with the league. We were going to have another coach, Kylie, but she's just had a baby, so obviously had to take time to look after her beautiful little girl. So obviously that's more important, family comes first. But yeah, love the coaches. The one thing I will say Ness might need to improve on is her umpiring scratch matches at training. Because I think we can all agree she's so cute umpiring, but her one flaw would be umpiring scratch matches, but all her knowledge of the game is second to none. Like, it's really good.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think our coaches at Oakdale always manage to find that balance between being able to give us that tough love to make sure that they get the most out of us during our training sessions, but then they're also there to support us through other aspects of life. Like, they're always checking in on us, which is really cool as well. So yeah, it's always such a caring environment, but yeah, they definitely work us hard, that's for sure. But that's how we get the wins under our belt. So yeah.
So you just mentioned about obviously coaching, especially umpiring scratch matches. So just without embarrassing her too much, can you give us some examples of what you're talking about?
Just some stepping, that gets missed, or contacts. Being a goalie, I feel victimized when I get called for contacts, when I feel like I've been knocked. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. Training's hard. You don't want to pick on your friends. Like, that's how it is. But yeah, just the little things that, I was an umpire when I was like 13. So I feel like I have experience. So no, I have no experience. But it is a tough job, umpires. I think we don't, give them as much credit. They have to watch everything. But yeah, Ness, definitely a much better coach.
Yeah.
I think that's where Ness just takes coaching but walks along the side of the court. I think she gets too invested in watching what's happening to pick things up, which is great for me as a defender. I get to run rogue, but I go cop it a little bit more.
How did all three get involved in netball? Why did you choose it?
Oh, wow. That takes us back a fair while, doesn't it? I think for me, when I first started, it was just when I was in primary school. I was friends with a bunch of girls in the year above me, and I remember I just went to go watch and play, to go watch them play netball, and I just wore some sneakers, and then it was like my school uniform that we just had to wear or whatever, and I was just sitting on the side of the court and I needed an extra player, so that's when I got shoved on. So I guess that's when I started playing, and I've played ever since. So yeah. But yeah, I love it. I wouldn't change the sport at all.
I started playing growing up in a small country town. My dad played footy and my mum played netball. And so when I got to 7 years old, I was at netball training with mum, and I walked to the president and I said, "I'm 7, I have to play netball now." And she said, "You don't have to." And I was like, "Girls play netball, boys play football." And so that's how I started, and I continued playing in the country for years and years and years before coming to the city. But I chose netball because I thought I had to, and continued it because I tried out some individual sports, but it just didn't give me what I was looking for. I need a team behind me and with me to enjoy it.
I'm the same as George. I grew up in a small country town, and my mum played netball, but my dad played tennis, and we had to try both, all us kids. And I remember losing at tennis, and I was so salty because it was just me and I had to just cop it. Whereas when I played netball and we lost, I was like, oh, there's 8 other girls that lost too. I'm not the only one. Or then we'd win, and it was just so much more fun celebrating with other girls. And I mean, my mum was the coach of all my teams until I was 10. So I mean, wherever she went, I would just go, and yeah, it was just so much more fun playing with more girls than just yourself as an individual sport. So I think that's why, I've kind of stuck to team sports and netball particularly.
All three you mentioned right at the start what position all three played on the court. If you had a preferred position where you like to convince your coaches to put you next year, where would that be?
Well, when I was young, I used to play goal defense. So I wish I could give that a go, but I know the goalies that George has to play against, so I would not want to play on them. So I mean, I'd give it a go. I'd give anything a go. So yeah, I'd go goal defense.
I would love to give centre a go. I feel like just being able to go all over the court would be so much fun. Mind you, there is a lot of running involved, so I'm not sure how that would go, but yeah, I feel like that would be something different because I've only ever really defended all throughout juniors and then coming into seniors and stuff. I've only ever really been a defender. So I'd love to give, I guess, being a centre, you get to defend and attack. So I guess, yeah, being able to attack a little bit more would be kind of cool. I mean, and I can't shoot. So shooting is out of the question, I think, even if I wanted to. Yeah, I would never want to go there. It's too much pressure.
I have been a defender for 5 years now. Before that, throughout all my junior and underage netball and the first, I think, 5 years of playing Premier League and reserves, I was a goalie. So I was a goal attack, goal shooter. So I did that, and now I'm goalkeeper, which I like. And next year, if I could convince Ness to play me in centre, that would be the dream. I would be the biggest centre in the league. Play smarter, not harder, though. And I would just be very thankful for rolling subs. So when they see me on that very steep decline after all that running, they can whip me off, bring someone with fresh legs on, and yeah, job done.
So sounds like two of the players wants to play centre at the moment. So that'll make it interesting out there at Oakdale.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did lose Crammy in centre, so there's the position open.
And
so
Bex
you never know.
retired, so
Exactly.
True.
Oh, okay. Now, what will be some highlights throughout all through your netball journey so far?
I guess for me, debuting in Premier League was a pretty cool opportunity when that happened. But I think my most recent highlight was probably last year when I was included in the reserves grand final. It was just such an epic experience. Like you play, like rarely ever get to be in a grand final, I think. So having that opportunity was just so awesome. Like the atmosphere in the stadium and getting to, like, you know, we get called out on court individually. Yeah, so that, like, even though we ended up losing only by 2, I think it was in the end, which was super devastating, but actually just getting to that point, because we'd come from being third on that ladder to then making the grand final, which was a super big effort from all the girls. So yeah, it was just a super proud moment and yeah, such a cool experience. So that was probably be my highlight.
I think I hadn't thought about that, Mick, but having you guys in the grand final, like for Resi's, I know I wasn't part of that, having been in the league team and we lost the week before, but I remember that energy and I remember being so excited for you girls out on that court, and we had our signs and you couldn't keep us in the seats. That excitement, I can only imagine how you were feeling out on court, but the excitement for us league girls in the crowd cheering you on was amazing and so much fun. So I just want to follow up that, yeah, I loved that experience too. And I've been part of winning teams and won grand finals and stuff like that. And there's nothing quite like that feeling. But for me, I think in the past probably 2 years, just being part of this Oakdale group, I feel like we've had a really special group of girls, and I don't think any level of success can measure to the experience of being part of this group, which sounds a bit soppy, but I think that's the truth. I think having done this for years, I think it'll be 10 years next year in the Premier League system for me. So yeah, nothing can compare to playing with my best friends. So I think that's the main thing for me.
Yeah, I'm going to follow on and be a bit soppy and cringe too. But my favourite, I think, yeah, when you're younger, you just want to aspire to be, yeah, I'm going to be Thunderbirds, yeah, I'm going to be Diamonds, yeah. And then I think, obviously, not all of us can get there, whilst the ones that do, unreal. But I think I've reached, yeah, the age where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get to that level. So what can I enjoy, or what can I think about now? And I think it's the friendships, like the amount of girls I have met through netball. If I didn't play netball, I'd probably have 4 friends. Like, it's just the amount of teams, all the different girls you meet, like, that come and go. You just build such a, like, connection with all these girls, different ages, from different parts of the city, of the country. Like, I just think it can't, yeah, that's probably my highlight, just making so many friends that I probably wouldn't meet if I didn't have netball. So, yeah, I'm going to say that's my highlight, making lots of friends. Cringe, sorry.
Oh, I think you almost just answered my next question then, which was, what does the sport of netball mean to all three, and especially being there at Oakdale?
So long, it's meant the world to me. It's given me all these amazing opportunities, like to travel around the country and to train and perform in this, like, elite environment and push myself to be the best I can be. And as I said before, to fulfill that need of playing and winning for a team, it's really, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the team. I think it's less about what netball, the sport, can do for me individually, and more so about being around my team and getting those girls younger than me to try and, well, to have their shot at getting the opportunities that I did, because it led me to where I am now, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I think, you don't really realize the impact you can have around you. Like, I remember coming into the team when I was 16 and playing with girls that were a lot older than me and just learning from them. And now I might not be super old, but I am one of the senior players in the squad. So I think being able to be a role model for the younger girls just kind of puts a different perspective on how you hold yourself, how you act, how you play. So yeah, I think it's really special to be able to be a role model for a lot of the younger girls in our squad, or even at the club in general in the lower ages.
For me, I feel like, because I've been at Oakdale since I was like a sub-junior, which I think is like under 13s, I think Oakdale for me is almost like a second family. Like, it's just because I know so many people there now. And it's just like meeting all the girls and then coaches as well. Like, you walk around the club environment and you know so many familiar faces. So it's always such a safe space, I think, as well. Which, just so comforting always being out at netball. I think it's just time away from, your stress of school or work and that sort of thing. Like, you just leave that all at the door and just get to come and enjoy playing sport, being around your friends, having a laugh on and off the court. So I think that's what netball really means to me, is just having that family and then that support around you.
What would be your advice to people that should get involved in netball, especially down there at Oakdale?
I think at Oakdale, you have the opportunity to succeed individually if that's what you're looking for, but you have that balance, just as Mick was saying, to be part of the family. And so it's the best of both worlds. And I think if you're keen to progress and keen to push yourself and your ability, you just got to put your name down and trial for everything and get your name out there. You might make a team and sit on the bench for however long, but you're there. And if you're willing to push yourself and show that you want to be there and work for the team, then opportunities will come. And if you're preparing yourself and you're putting yourself in an environment like at Oakdale where you're supported, you will be ready when those opportunities come to grab them and run.
Totally agree. And I think I remember trialing for Oakdale. My first trial, I was in, under 15s. I knew no one. I sat there by myself, and a couple of girls came up to me and spoke to me, and they're still my friends to this day. So I think, if you're unsure of trialing or doing something new, I think definitely give it a go, because you make friends, you meet new people, and you get out of your comfort zone. And I think, why not play netball, enjoy it, and have a team sport?
Yeah, I definitely feel like Oakdale is a very inclusive club. There's no judgment or whatever. Soph was saying, everyone will go out of their way to make you feel included and a part of the club environment, as long as you're willing to put yourself out there as well. So I guess it kind of goes both ways in that sort of circumstance. But definitely, anybody should come out and give it a go. We need more numbers, and the more numbers that we can make, we can have more junior teams, which would be awesome as well. So, yeah.
I will couple light-hearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, who had the most embarrassing moment on the court this season, and what was it?
Team.
I don't know. I think every week there's usually we've got a fines page where you're fined for doing stupid stuff, basically. And each week that is full, like a long list of fines being delivered to a bunch of girls for all kinds of wild stuff. But I don't know, do you girls know of any ones that stuck out?
Yeah, I've got two. I've got one that happened at training. Beck Moyne ran into me and gave me a black eye. But we probably ran into each other, let's be real. But the second one that I think is hilarious, Aisha, our goal shooter who came from Jets, We were playing Jets, and Aisha just scored a goal. The ball goes back to the centre. She yells out really loud, "Oh, let's go, Jets!" And out loud, and I turn around and almost gagged. I'm like, what are you doing? And she just had this fear in her eyes. The goalkeeper for Jets is laughing. But it was hilarious. But yeah, that was like a $15 fine, I think, $10, $15.
Yeah, that one
Yeah,
put some
that was
weight
so
in,
bad.
in the fine. Yeah, in the fines for sure.
Oh, that is a fantastic segue to my next question. Now, I was going to ask if you have a fine system. Now you've just mentioned that you do. So, have any of you been stitched up for a fine, and what was it for?
George, you seem to get stitched up with a lot of like the media fines. George is our little poster girl at Oakdale, so she gets lots of media love from, I think, Netball SA. I think you had one from Black Chrome as well, who's one of our sponsors actually. So yeah, I think because if you're put up on some sort of media platform, then unfortunately that's one of the fines. But I think George, you just seem to cop a lot just because you're our poster girl for Oakdale. So
I don't know why the photos they continually post are not good. I'm like, these need to be sent to me for approval or something before we're plastering them all over social media. They're costing me a fortune too. So I agree, I do get stitched up with those.
Yeah, I agree. Also, there was another funny one. Beck Moyne forgot her training pants, and she had to do training in her pajama pants.
That was very funny. Yeah.
So I just had to jump that in. But out of the three of us, I reckon, George gets stitched up the most.
Yeah.
So, does that mean this is going to be a fine as well?
Well, I'm in charge of fines, so I might actually just declare the fines closed for the season as at last
a good idea.
game.
Yeah, I like that.
But you know what? We reap the benefits of having the fine system, so I could probably pay one last media fine.
One last $2.
Yeah.
Who's the comedian, the best singer, and the best dancer on the team?
Probably Crammy is maybe unintentionally the comedian. She is just like so funny, random. But I don't think she's trying to be funny. It's just who she is. And it's always a laugh. When she walks into training, I am so excited to see what we're in for that night. So I think Crammy is one of those comedians for sure.
And dancers, a lot of our younger girls are like obsessed with TikTok. And I say younger, but Mick joined in too in one of those games. Her and Liv were filming a TikTok, dancing away. So yeah, all the young ones, they just love TikTok, love dancing. They post it. It's cute, but it's costly for fines.
It's good. We're hot on it. When we see one of those pop up, cash in.
In terms of singers, I don't think I've ever heard any of the girls crack out in a song at training or at a game or anything like that. So I couldn't tell you who would be the best singer. Maybe we should play music more often to try and suss that one out. But I definitely am not. I cannot sing at all.
Not me either.
So
it won't be me.
Yeah. Almost answered my next question about TikTok, which is okay. So, is any of your teammates TikTok famous yet?
I don't think so, but Chig is trying her hardest. She is dedicated to it. So hopefully we will be able to say that we have a TikTok famous player in Chig. But I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know about the young girls though. They probably have, who knows how many followers or whatever
thousands
it is.
Followers, probably.
Probably.
So, Soph just mentioned before about you, Michaela, being involved in one of those TikTok dances. Can you describe exactly what that was?
I can't even remember what song it is now. But it's the one where it's like you do like this fancy footwork type thing. And so Liv, one of the other girls, we gave that one a go. We managed to get it down pat. It was a bit complicated. It took us a few trainings to sort of suss it out and all the girls were watching us, so that was kind of funny doing that. But yeah, we managed to get it down pat so that we filmed it before our last game and put that one up on TikTok just as a bit of fun.
Either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
I do. I have a lot. So how much time do we have? I always shower before the game. I strap right, then left, right shoe first, left shoe then. I drive to netball, always stop, get a Gatorade on the way, and then eat a banana before the game on the court.
Yes, I was just thinking that I don't have any, but a pre-game banana, pre-game naan is go-to. I think all three of us do a pre-game banana on the court, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing for me. And we all, and Crammy too. So us three and Crammy always have a pre-game banana.
But Crammy always forgets her banana, so I always get two. So she
can and her shoes, which she forgot to not just one game this season, but two. So
she forgot her shoes.
This is where the things where Crammy's unintentional comedian comes into it. She didn't deliberately leave her shoes, but there she was.
This happens
twice.
I think you almost just answered my next question there. Who's the most forgetful player on the team?
Crammy.
Crammy or Beck, I reckon. I think Beck's forgotten her shorts and then sports bras maybe before as well. So it's probably out of those two, but I reckon Crammy's probably just gets it. Yeah.
Yeah. Beck did leave the insoles of her shoes out and had to rip them out of Ash's shoes. Yeah. So yeah, but Beck has a good excuse. She lives, I think, 2 to 2.5 hours away, and so she travels many hours a week, which means lots of early mornings and late nights getting everything prepared. So we can cut her a bit of slack for those.
Three, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. It's awesome having all three on the show. Obviously, as I mentioned a couple of questions ago, very, very unlucky and pretty stiff not to make the finals this year. And next year, I'm sure that you will be in the finals next year. And I know that I think the rest of the competition should be very scared of this team next year. And hopefully all goes well. And hopefully this time next year, we'll be talking about finals campaign.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, looking forward to that for sure. Thanks you for having us again. It's been awesome.
Thank you so much.
No worries. And of course, if you want to go and support the mighty Oakdale Netball Club next year in the Premier League or want to get involved in the sport, we'll put all the details up on how you can get involved down there at Oakdale in 2021-22. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.